question for you.
Okay.
Dilly asks, what percentage do you dilute your raw materials to before you can start working with them?
Well, you do not have to dilute your raw materials. There's no rule that says you have to do that. It just depends on the raw material. By the way, these are little magnets. I had to order some more magnets because I have multiple blends going at the same time that need some attention. So, let me throw this in here. So, you know, there's a few materials that do have to be diluted before you use them, just because they are so strong. So, in other words, it's like even when used as a dominant aspect in a perfume, like let's say you want like a very overt saffron note, and you're using saffronol. Even if you want a really dominant saffron note, saffronol at full strength is just like mind-bogglingly strong. So, unless you're like a professional perfume house making kilos of concentrate at one time, using it in its pure form is just going to be overwhelming. So, okay, that'll be diluted down to like 1%. So there's other materials like that. For small batch, home indie perfumers, something like civet, synthetic civet, is typically too strong to be used in its, that's not it, I won't make you smell that, in its undiluted form, especially when you're making trials and experimenting, right?
Yeah.
When it's time to do a full blend and I'm getting like a liter of perfume to make, right? And I know what the ultimate formula is, well then I can do the conversion, and instead of doing 100 drops of diluted civet, I can do 5 drops of the full concentrate, but 5 drops for a whole liter of perfume, right?
Okay.
But when I'm doing experimenting and I'm making little 10 ml trials or 5 ml trials sometimes, then that's way too strong.
So how do you know which percentage if you are going to dilute, like civet, for instance, how do you know which percentage to dilute it to?
I mean, you just research. The information's out there, people to ask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like what
stuff
works,
like that isn't secret per se, or experimentation. I mean, one of the first things you're supposed to do when really getting to learn materials is, take the raw material and put it into like both a 10% and a 1% to get to know it, right? Because there's a little bit of a paradox. Like there's some materials that you don't actually get the effect that you want from it at even like a 10% dose. It's only when you take it down, or let's say at full strength, right? But then when you take it down to 10%, it opens up and you actually sense a lot more of what you're wanting to get out of that particular material from the perfume.
Okay.
Right? So there are no rules is the answer. You don't have to do anything. A lot of my materials are undiluted, and I work with them that way. We did that perfume together. Your channeled perfuming session with Jacques Guerlain that turned out really, really good. And those were mostly undiluted materials you were using. And you were doing X number of drops of an undiluted material. Let's get this. This is Cherry Smoke Intense.
What's floating in the bottom there?
Well, I had unfortunately not checked my alcohol when it was delivered, and something happened in the production where basically it's little pieces of plastic.
Oh.
So
awesome.
it has to be filtered anyway, so it's not going to matter. But it is kind of annoying and unpleasant to look at, which does drive me crazy. Which is also why I ordered. Did those other bottles come in? They did.
Yeah.
So I've got. Well, I needed to do it anyway, but I got more.
Because you have to filter into.
Yeah, I got more 1 liter bottles so that I can filter back and forth without like cleaning bottles from different perfumes each time, which is ridiculously annoying. So anyway, so that's going on. That's going to mix. I've got a few others I need to because we made some tweaks with Mr. Mark Sage that people are going to really like. Some subtle tweaks that he helped me refine some of my blends. And then next up, I've had a couple requests to dilute some of the Attars that we have from Perito Moreno and turn them into extrays.
Okay.
So that is what I am doing, or EDP in this case. So I'm going to do that now. We've demonstrated.
Do you have to use the whole bottle? The whole, all of the perfume oil in there? Okay.
Yeah. So we did a video of this recently, and people are still confused. The difference between mass and volume. So dilutions or concentrations of perfumes are done by mass or weight, which means I'm putting this on a scale.
Yeah.
So I am going to transfer this attar, which is pure perfume oil.
Do you need a little funnel? Do you have to use a little funnel for that? Because the
No.
opening is pretty small.
I'm more concerned actually. So I've zeroed out the scale with the new bottle on it. This is a plenty big opening.
Okay.
I would be more concerned, honestly, about like the loss of material by transferring it to too many different, like putting it through a funnel and then, because it's very sticky and thick.
I sent a little bit of this attar to somebody and used a pipette. Like I squeezed up a little tiny bit.
Yeah, but see, when you do that, you've then lost probably like, 5 wearings from the attar that's stuck inside the pipette.
I squeezed the SHIT out of the pipette.
Then you've probably lost maybe 2 wearings. Like you will lose,
yeah.
unless you.
I knew that would happen.
Unless you rinse it out with alcohol.
Yeah,
right?
I knew that would happen, but I was.
Yeah,
I didn't know any other.
Not the end of the world. Not a big deal. Like this, I will rinse with the alcohol that will become a part of this, but I want to just put it on and measure. Okay. So that's getting me up to 2 grams. So I've got still probably like,
half a gram.
Half a gram. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
it's 2.2 actually. So 0.3 grams is still
in the bottle.
Still stuck in there.
Where's your little squeezy bottle? Is that what you're looking for?
I am looking for that. But you know what? I will use. No, I do need the squeezy bottle. Let me go find that.
I'm taping again.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to do this at a 25%. So I need to get this up to 25 gram. Excuse me, 8 grams for 25%, roughly. I probably didn't need this big of a bottle, but I didn't want to run short on space in a 10 ml.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, this is where I'm wondering, like, why do people want to convert their Attars?
Well, some people just prefer the sprayable experience.
Sure.
Which I get.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, again, I've now got, let's just round it. I've got, to make the math easy, I've got 2 grams of material. I added 6 grams of alcohol. So there's 8 grams total. 2 of the 8 grams is concentrate.
Yeah.
That's a 25% solution. Okay. By weight. And so what I'm going to do is just put the lid back on this, the dipstick here.
Shake it up.
Shake it up a little bit. Make sure I get everything out of there.
Now, hypothetically, when the person who's bought this wears it, they're not going to need a lot of sprays, I'm guessing.
No, they're not. That'll be for them to play with and decide on their own.
Yeah.
I'm super curious because I haven't really done this with any of our Attars. I've thought about doing it with a fruit ride. I don't know why, that one in particular, but I may give that a shot and see how the wearing experience differs. Yeah, see, there's quite a bit of material in there still. So now we've got, about 10 to 12 mLs of a Attar EDP.
Cool.